If you are a coach, a consultant, a business owner, or an author, I urge you, listen to this. If you know someone who's got a great book, is a great coach or a consultant, or has a great company, please share this with them. Because right now, they could be helping so many more people. Only there's one problem. You see, it's obscurity. People don't know they exist. I firmly believe that today, that's the biggest problem we all have. Hi, this is Tom Schwab with Interview Valet, and I am so excited to talk with you about Podcast Guest Profits Live and why we're doing it. Now, years ago, I wrote a book called Podcast Guest Profits Live. Let's see, right up there, right? And what a lot of people don't know is that there was a course that went along with it also. That course never came out of beta because it sold really well in beta, but the people that were honest with me said, you know what? I don't want to learn how to do all this. And, it's just, I don't want to go through another course. We all have courses on our shelves. We've got courses on our hard drives that we have never used. And while it sold real well, people weren't getting results with the course. And I said, I don't want to just make money from that. I want to help people. A lot of people told me, well, most courses, only 7% of them get through it. It's like, that's disgusting, right? I'd give people's money back if they only got through 7% of it. It's like, I am not going to sell something that I don't know and am confident on that people are going to use and get results out of it. That's why I'm so excited to do Podcast Guest Profits Live. This is not another masterclass. It's not a webinar. It's not a course. It's an event that's going to show people exactly how to leverage podcast guesting. Now, people will say, well, isn't that what you do at Interview Valet? Exactly. And we do it with excellence. Our customers value the time they save. They value our expertise. But I understand not everybody can afford to work with Interview Valet. And we only focus on 3 verticals: business, faith and Christianity, and health, nutrition, and wellness. So if you're outside those verticals, we can't help you until now. You see, Podcast Guest Profits Live is going to be a one-day event, September 11th. And this is going to be like something you've never seen before. Well, let me put a little asterisk on that. Something you've never seen before, unless you've gone to a recent event from Tony Robbins or Pete Vargas. You see, one of our clients is Sage Productions, and they do amazing things. And they've seen them has taught me how to do a live event where people actually learn, they engage. There's going to be breakout sessions. There's going to be physical welcome box sent to everybody that's got super amount of value in it. It's got the book in there. It's got the workbook. It's got in a journal to have all of your interviews in there. Throughout this, we're going to go through and say, okay, here's exactly how you find the podcast. Here's how you rate them. Here's how to reach out to them. Notice I did not say pitch. Pitching doesn't work. Introductions do. And we're going to show you exactly how to do that. In this, we're also going to bring on some podcasters, some guests that have done this so you can learn from them. And you can see exactly how they prepared for the interviews, how they use the interviews and strategically moved people from being a passive listener to an active visitor to an engaged lead. This is not how to pitch yourself, to buy a quick list. No, those things don't work. This is on how to grow your business, to grow your brand with a targeted interview strategy. Now, if you're interested in this, I'm going to put the link down below. Please check it out. But I would want to say one thing. We've got a limited number of spaces in here. Bigger is not better. Better is better. So if you are really interested in using podcast interviews, you want to be here. Not just learning about it and saying, well, I'll check this off. That's another course that I've signed up for. No, we're going to be going into this. We're going to be doing breakouts. By the end of that Friday, you're going to be excited, prepared, and ready to go on podcast interviews. You're going to be probably working over the weekend because you're so happy and excited for what the possibilities are. The world has changed. I don't see it changing back. Exposure brings opportunity. Being on a stage gives you great credibility. But the problem is you're not going to get exposure here in the next year on a physical stage. You're not going to get exposure at conventions. So you got to figure out a way to get out there. We can only play defense for so long. If you've been waiting and thinking, well, I'll do that when, now is when. My guess is that if you don't take action on this, you're probably not going to be on podcast interviews, or at least converting on podcast interviews through the end of the year, and probably not into 2021. Don't miss this opportunity. And if you've already tried out a few podcast interviews and said they don't work, it's not that they don't work. It's the system that you are trying. The system that you're making up isn't working. If you want to get the most out of every interview, you'll want to learn the systems. If you've got any questions, please reach out to me, Tom@interviewvalet.com. We'd love to have you at Podcast Guest Profits Live, September 11th. Early bird pricing is good through the end of Friday, August 14th. Had to look at the calendar there, but the world needs you. What's ordinary to you is amazing to others. And if you've got a great product or service, there's lots of people that you could help. There's thousands, there's millions of people you could help. But if they don't know you exist, you can't help them. And they can't thank you by buying your product or service. So take action. Get out there. We buy from people we know, like, and trust. Well, I've never bought a product from a company I didn't know. If they don't know you, let's change that. Let's change that by getting you on targeted podcast interviews to help you go from obscure to acclaimed. Join me at Podcast Guest Profit Live on September 11th.